You're married and you find yourself consistently being rejected by your wife. You feel more like roommates. You feel as though you and her are much better as friends, or maybe she doesn't even see you as a friend. Maybe she sees you as somebody that's more of a burden or another child, and you are at a loss of what happened, why is this happening, and where do you go from here to respark attraction. What's up? It is Dean Soto, and this is a topic that it's interesting because most of my stuff is around business, but when it comes down to it, if you have a sucky relationship, if you have a sucky marriage, you're going out to battle to bring money home for your family. It is one of the worst feelings in the world when you come home and there's a war at your house. This is something that I learned from my friend Garrett J. White, that when you have a war basically on both fronts, you are in a world of hurt, and it really sucks. And a lot of men find themselves in this place, and I found myself in this place at one point in time as well. So if you don't know, I have 9 kids, a beautiful wife. All of the kids are from the same beautiful, wonderful, amazing wife. And so that said, there has been a lot of rocky times, and I want to tell you, and I want to focus you as a man, that you are the problem and the solution. Not probably what you want to hear, but it is what it is. The big thing though is that oftentimes it's not your fault. I talk about this a lot. You'll see this in a lot of my videos, that you are trained to have this type of stuff happen. You've literally been indoctrinated for decades, and whether it's through the school system, whether it's through your religious systems, whether it's through a lot of different things that we grow up with, you, just like me, were trained to have this happen, and I'll explain what that means in just a little bit. So yeah, I got married at the age of 25. I am 42 right now, and for a long time, even prior to that, I was always in relationships where I almost kind of felt like I wasn't really worthy to be in those relationships, and that I was shocked that obviously they're my girlfriends at the time, that they wanted to actually be my girlfriend. And so I was always like, yes, this is amazing. And even with my wife, we had actually met. She had seen me prior to going into the military, which was funny because at that time I was pretty chunky, and I was a vocalist in the church band. And so I think part of the me being a vocalist was obviously pretty attractive, despite my man boobies flopping all around and everything like that. And here's this beautiful woman who is she was played basketball in high school, and one of the more beautiful women in the high school. And she was looking at me. Of course, this is during college age, and she's looking at me, and she sees me go off to the military. And so obviously I wasn't able to keep in touch with her at all because I didn't even know she was looking at me, which is crazy. So I come back from the military, and I get back into the church band, and we start making eye contact. It literally took me about 3 months to work up the courage to go and talk to her. And this is when I was like in shape from the military too. And I honestly literally had no clue when women liked me. It was so dumb. And knowing what I know now, I was like, oh, she liked me. And these are really pretty women who I had no clue. And she was one of them. I did not, she would smile at me and look and everything like that. And I was still like, oh, I think she likes me. I don't know. But eventually I went and talked to her, and we, lo and behold, got married. And that was a great thing, obviously. And we started having children. And I became an entrepreneur, and we still were having children. And it's once I became an entrepreneur, I found myself worrying more about my business and worrying more about my wife and wanting to please her all the time, and also worrying about the business. And I never really truly had time for me. And I never really saw myself as someone that I needed to, as like the first person that I needed to take care of. And what I mean by that is that I spent focused time making myself the best version possible. And so what would happen is I would gain weight, and then I would lose weight, and then I would gain weight, and then I'd lose weight, and then I would start drinking. Got to a point where I was like throwing up every few weeks or whatever, and she would start cleaning it up, and she's like, dude, we have all these kids, and now you're becoming this huge burden to me. And now I have this additional kid who she's cleaning up after me. She can't depend on me. And then at the same time, I'm getting fatter and fatter, and things are going really, really bad. And she would, I think she would actually admit it, she started losing attraction to me, and getting to the point, getting where she would really just look out after herself. And if it wasn't for our faith, which we were both, we still are very devout in, where, as Catholics, devout Catholics, you don't get divorced. And if it had this been any other religion that we were in, I'm pretty sure we would have gotten divorced. We were at a point where it was not, there was very little spark there. And so that said, it really wasn't until starting Warrior, which is Garrett J. White's stuff at wakeupwarrior.com. It wasn't really till starting that I started focusing on myself. And part of Warrior is you have the core 4, which is body, being, balance, and business. You every day you're doing something to improve your body from a fitness level and from a health level. So drinking a green smoothie type thing and working out. You're doing body, being. So being is prayer, meditation, journaling. Balance is your family, is like doing something out, fully just loving on your family in whether it's a love note or whatever. And then business, doing something to improve on your business, whether it's so you're declaring, which is actually sharing what you learn, and discovering, which is discovering something new about your business. Maybe it's an audiobook, listening to something like that. And so that was 4 years ago, and ended up doing Warrior Week, and which is a big like boot camp type thing, much more emotional, things like that. But when it comes down to it, none of that, like I'm not saying this that it didn't matter. That's what I had to go through, but I'm going to share with you really the essence of what I finally truly learned during that time. And then the culmination really happened about a year ago, and where I realized, the reason my wife is rejecting me, or my wife is not nearly as attracted to me as I would like her to be, is because I don't love myself. I'm not attracted to myself. I don't enjoy being by myself. I don't enjoy doing things for myself. Okay. And it's going to sound really odd, because we're taught that's very selfish, right? That's very selfish. But I'm going to share with you what I mean by all of this. Okay. So in Warrior, essentially the whole thing is that you need to stop lying. Stop lying to yourself, stop lying to everybody else. And then there is a phrase in it that says the king eats first, which is completely antithetical to what we're taught. The king eats first. It's just like in an airplane where they say you need to put your in the case of pressure, the cabin pressure, changing or whatever, in the mask drop down, you need to put yours on first before you help someone else. It's because if you don't and your kid is over there, if you help your kid first, you might pass out before you can even get the mask on them. So you put your mask on and then you help put their mask on. Okay. Same thing goes with life. And it's not meant to be selfish because you're doing everything to help you first. Okay. And then I'm going to give you some tips on how you can help and how you can start helping your wife to be a little bit more attracted to you. And maybe we'll talk about more of this as time goes on. But after Warrior, I joined a thing called Married Game, and I highly recommend you listen to Keith Yackey, Yackey. Keith Yackey's Married Game. And it really focused all of the things that I've been learning into some sound principles, which I'm going to share in just right now. I'll share it right now. First things first, he has his own dials and everything like that. I personally think that there are a few things that you need to do to start sparking attraction from your wife again. Okay. So first things first is you need to be physically attractive. You have to, and the last few videos I've shared this. Last few videos I've shared this guy. If I can bring him up, I don't know if I can bring him up or not. Actually, I'm messing things up. Where is it? I don't know if I'm gonna I can't bring him up. I can't do it, guys. Anyway, shared a very gross version of me that looked very. I had the neck beard and everything like that. You have to become very attractive. And by attractive, that does not just mean physically attractive, which it's true. You have to start, I'm just going to tell you what you have to do. You have to start getting muscles. You have to start getting muscles, okay? Not just going and jogging and working out and losing weight. If you're fat right now, it is the best time to build muscle. You literally have the cheat code, the easy code to start building muscle. So start lifting heavy weights. Bench press, pull-ups. So bench press, like weights where enough weight to where you can only do 3 or 4. Okay, bench press, lateral raises with dumbbells, ab work, pull-ups. What else? The lat bar. Okay, really, that's all you need to do at this point, right? And it needs to be so heavy that you can only do 3 or 4. Because that's going to give you muscle mass and build strength. And you keep doing that workout 45 minutes, an hour a day, take 1 day off of rest, and you'll start building muscle. If you look at the way I was compared to the way I am now, I'm not bulky, but I have muscle on me. And it changes the game. The next thing is you have to have social dynamics. There's so many things out there that can teach you this. There's a couple YouTube videos, and yes, you're married. If your wife finds it can actually be a good thing. But if your wife finds out you're watching stuff like this, this is mainly for like single people. But you need to be social dynamic. Okay, the Fearless Man, a guy named Brian Begin. It looks like Begin, Begin. Fearless Man, very, very, very good at teaching you how to talk to people, how to talk to women, because that is going to translate to how you talk to your woman, to your wife, okay? How to create polarity, how to be a man that's not needy. Because I have found that if I look attractive, I act attractive, and I know deep down that if my wife were to leave me, which I don't ever want to happen, that I can get any woman I want. Okay, because I have several women. That women are generally attracted to me. They're attracted to me by my looks and by the way that I act. And it's not that I'm ever going to do that, but when you have options, when you are that guy that women are attracted to, it changes the way that your wife views you. Because if she sees you as you can do no better, it's just female nature, guys. It's just female nature. They will treat you that way. They will treat you like, oh, well, nobody's going to want him anyway, so I'll just treat him however I want to treat him and use him. And then she'll go and be with some other guy. Like, no joke. That's the end game. And there are plenty. Go check out Rollo Tomasi, his Rational Male stuff. Casey Zander. He doesn't do any married stuff, but he's also a good resource. Casey Zander. I like these guys because they are not necessarily the alpha guys who want you to treat women badly. They just give you the real, like, in general, you have to sift through it, but they give you the real deal of how you need to be. And that is just the way it is. And, you can choose to listen to me and, start becoming the better version of yourself physically, social dynamically, and have options. Or you can't, or you don't, and you don't listen to me, and you see what happens as your wife continues to separate. So that's number one. I think that is the most powerful portion of the whole married game thing. And married game, all it's doing is taking all of these concepts from these single game people and putting it into marriage, which it totally 100% works. And my marriage has never been better. Okay, so, and I'll share a story with you maybe at another time, but I literally had my wife say at one point in time, not too long ago, say, we make better friends than we make husband and wife. And I looked at her and I said, okay, well, what does that mean? Does that mean no kissing, no hugging? And I said, that's totally fine with me. Like, if that's the case, it's the case. I just want to know what that means. And she said, well, no, that's not what I meant. And I said, okay, well, I'm free. I am totally open for you to do whatever you need. That's totally fine. And if we need to separate, that's totally fine as well. But I'm just going to let you, I am just telling you that good luck trying to find someone like me. Like, there's literally, you will never find somebody making as much money as I am, as fit as I am, as sexy as I am, as good of a father as I am to 9 kids. Good luck. Like, you're never going to find that. And it changes the game only because deep down she knows that. Okay. If I was still neck, beard, chubby, all that other stuff, it's not a reality, but it is reality now. Okay. So, become the best version of yourself, from the looks, from the attractiveness in social dynamics, as well as the just having options. The next is being a good partner. Okay, doing stuff, picking up your own clothes, going and cleaning the dishes without being asked. Not in transactional, like, hey, look at me do the dishes. That means maybe we can get a little something tonight. No, like, just go and do it. Don't say anything. Go full clothes. Don't say anything. Go. Don't expect anything. Just go and freaking be a good partner. I mean, if she's cleaning up after you, and especially if she's going to work too, she's going to work and cleaning up after you, and that is like you literally are a child. But if you, just like you would, like as a good roommate, if you pull your own weight and you're going to work and you're becoming the best version of yourself, and she sees that you have other options when you guys are out and about, and she sees other women looking at you, dude, your attraction level is going to go way up, big time. Become a good partner. And the next is become a good parent. Spend time with the kids. Spend time giving her a break from the kids. Spend time, and without any neediness. That's one of the things I love about Keith Yackey in his married game. He says, There's a phrase called gotta bleed the need. So no neediness, none of that. Okay, becoming a good parent, spend time with the kids without, just say, hey, I'm going to take the kids out to Chuck E. Cheese. We'll be back. And don't use that as like, well, later on, well, I took the kids out to Chuck E. Cheese and I give you 3 hours. What more do you want, woman? 2 weeks ago, right? That's not the point. You don't do this as a keeping tabs, keeping score. You just do it because that's what you're supposed to do. And you build all these different, to me, those are the biggest parts. There's more to it, but if you can get that physical attraction back, the way that you looked when you were dating, the way that or even better, this is the best shape I've ever been in my life. Dude, we married at 25, okay? I have more muscle. I can lift way more weights. I can do things I never have done, even after being deployed overseas and having nothing but time to work out. I am in the best shape of my life, and she knows that, right? And when we go to restaurants, there are women looking at me, and you have to get it through your head that that is a good thing. You don't want to be like hitting on them, but when your wife sees that other women are attracted to you, it sparks attraction in herself. Okay, so best version of yourself, physically, socially, right? Becoming a good parent, better parent, and a partner. There's more to it. I'm not going to share all of it. You go check out Married Game, Keith Yackey and stuff. But those 3 things alone will change the game for you, and you will get far less rejections. Stop being needy. Worry about yourself. Become physically fit. Become a guy who has options. Focus on yourself. Be as loving as you can to your wife. But if she's not feeling you, that's fine. Become that guy that you were when she was attracted to you in the first place. And if she's not going to be attracted to you ever, you'll have options. You can move on. Okay? So this is Dean Soto. And it's funny, I didn't even really expect to talk about this type of stuff on this channel, but I'm going to talk about it. These are the things that I think are important, especially to business. So if you have a business, go check out prosulum.com, prosulum.com. If you want to learn how to systemize your business and scale in 5 minutes a day, go check out systemizeinfive.com. All right, catch you in the next one.